The second Five Nights at Freddy's movie has confused a lot of people on the identity of Mike Schmidt and Michael Afton in the games. But frankly, in my opinion, I think what the movie did here is pretty simple, and I'm very confident that it doesn't change anything for the game's lore. If you're confused about what the movie did here, don't worry, I'm here to help explain in this video. Hello, my fellow FNAF fans. Well, the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie is finally out, and people are already discussing about its implications for the games. Some things being discussed is when Charlotte's death is, since in the movie it is confirmed to be 1982, what the role of the Wizards are, but most importantly, the thing that a lot of people are absolutely confused about and why it's the case, how Mike Schmidt and Michael Afton are two completely separate characters. Frankly, however, I don't think it's too hard to solve, and there's a pretty simple conclusion, and I really hope that this can clear up confusion people have regarding the game lore and the implications of the second film. I won't spend too much time on the intro, so as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So before I start anything, I need to be very, very clear. Mike Schmidt being Michael Afton in the games is, frankly, pretty much outright confirmed based on what we know in the survival logbook. In this book, you get a character named Mike, who is the original owner of this thing, who is drawing receiving baskets of cash and exotic butters, drawing casual bongos, and is connected to the Immortal and the Restless, all which connects to Michael Afton. But the owner of this thing is very clearly connected to FNAF 1 as well, being an employee of Freddy's for wanting free pizza, knows that the classic animatronics are possessed, and is drawing about recent dreams, which connects him to FNAF 4, and within FNAF 4 has radio static of the FNAF 1 phone calls. This dude even works out a lot, which could explain him being fired for odor in FNAF 1. All of this strongly, and I mean strongly, suggests that the owner of the logbook is the player of FNAF 1, who also is the player of Sister Location, which we know is Michael for 1,000 different reasons. So if this is the case, then what is the movie trying to tell us by separating Mike and Michael into two separate characters? Why on earth are they doing this? Well, it all boils down to Mike Schmidt and Michael Afton being decomposite characters. For those who don't know, a decomposite character is a trope in video games, comics, and television that takes a source material and splits it into two separate characters. A famous example of this is Sonic and Shadow, where the composite character Sonic was split into Sonic, the original character, and Shadow, who encompasses Sonic's darker personality of his earlier games of being rebellious, which no longer exists in modern Sonic. This kind of thing is not a novel thing when it comes to writing fiction. In fact, we've already seen this kind of decomposite character split already happen in Five Nights at Freddy's. In Secret of the Mimic, M1 and M2 are an example of this. The original source material for the Mimic was from Tales from the Pizzaplex, where it was just one Mimic, Mimic 1, where David's babysitter ended up becoming aggressive by Edwin destroying it after David's tragic death. In the games, the destructive aspect of the Mimic is in M2, whereas M1, the babysitter aspect of Fiona, is now in the Mix's machine. This shows that Scott has been doing decomposite characters already, hence why he would do it in the films with Michael Afton. In this movie, what we see of Michael Afton really is what Foxy Bro would have been had the bite victim not died. Since there is no humbling event like the death of the bite victim in the films, Michael Afton is a ruthless, evil character that tries to carry out his father's legacy. Considering that Foxy Bro is the biggest asshole ever, it seems exactly what Michael would have become in Gameline had the bite victim not died. This is because the other aspect of Michael's character is in, well, Mike Schmidt. Mike Schmidt didn't grow up with evil, ruthless parents, hence why the kidnapping of Garrett and his eventual death is effectively the movie equivalent of the bite victim's death, making him a full protagonist and not a morally gray character like would argue what Michael is in the games. Both of these things are encompassed in game Michael Afton, since we know from the logbook that he is the player of FNAF 4, intentionally trying to dream to learn about what's going on with his brother, hence why we see the sleeping pills directly in the game. In fact, I can actively prove that this is what they were intentionally doing. In the Ghost Hunter scene when they first meet Michael and call him Mike, he explicitly says, "Michael, call me Michael," Whereas when it comes to Mike Schmidt, we have never seen him called Michael outside of the 2 times directly from William. In the games, however, we know canonically that Michael Afton goes by both, since Hand Unit has the post-it of Mike, and he outright says his full name in the final cutscene.
Father, it's me, Michael.
By Michael directly going by his full name, something that they outright emphasize, it is pretty airtight that they are strictly making this distinction of something that is blurred in the games. But why exactly did they do this? Well, since William Afton is stuck in the safe room in the film, there is no plot device for Charlotte in the films, and while I definitely think Elizabeth is in the movie universe, theory for another day, I think she's dead inside of Circus Baby, so she can't be the plot device for that. Vanessa isn't on William's side, so that leaves Michael Afton, who is his father's living accomplice. Because of this, I think it is pretty foolish to say that Michael Afton in this film is a direct equivalent to what we see in the games, and while I have further theories on exactly why they did Miketosis, which is what I call this, I think it is safe to say that this definitely does not mean that Mike Schmidt and Michael Afton are separate characters in Gameline. But anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. More videos coming soon, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. As always, peace out.